Something very big is happening right now. I'm proof, and you may have felt this. Some of you have said you've gone to a dark place. I experienced some of that feeling. Of course, you have to learn how to not react to it, but you're connected to the collective. So I want to explain what's happening. We've talked about all these shifts happening, and those are real. We've been going in and out of them very quickly in 2022. Now something very big's happening, and I have a very exciting announcement for you, things that you could get involved in. So if you are in that place that's a little bit discouraging, anxiety, join me, because I've got a whole new world that's opening up right now, and you can participate in it. But if you don't focus on it, you will be entangled with that which is the old world, and will continue onward in an ego basis. We're going to talk about that too, and some other things you might be watching out there. Are you ready? This is cool stuff. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Brand spanking new program coming out. Breakthrough Fear is coming out in a different format with weekly coaching. Why? Because it's time for us to move past the fears, past the programming, recognize what we are, and get out of our own heads where we're saying anything negative to anybody at all. Why would you ever do that? You're in an ego state, and you're in what I call ignorance. I don't mean that in a demeaning way. When we're ignorant, we're not aware. Awakening is out of ignorance. It's consciousness. Unconsciousness is you don't even know what you don't know. Something big is happening. What is it? We're shifting into something completely new. It's so expansive and so creative. And I'm going to give you an opportunity today to participate in it in some amazing ways that could change your life. Financially, what you do for a living, all this stuff. I'm not talking about just internet training. I'm talking about something completely different that I've already launched. So stay with me here. I want to mention something, because if you are watching things out there to find out what's going on, or who's going to do this to save us, or who's going to heal you, you're still in ego-based separation and disempowerment. You're still thinking there's something out there that can save you. Only you have the power to do that. And through knowing this, then our community comes together to aid you in that, because we all have different skill sets and talents and all these things. Diversity is beautiful. We're going to start celebrating that more too. Not in a, okay, you need to love me. It's like, we're just open to everything. No more criticism. Now, I want to mention something, and I just want to point this out. It's not meant to just, diss anybody. We as creators and influencers online, we're always given information about our competitors. Now, I don't actually look at those very often, because I want to come from a clean place, and I'm like, once in a while just seeing what other people are watching, but I don't watch it myself. One of my competitors, and there are others out there, but somebody who's considered a competitor of mine, has gone to what I feel is a darker side. Now, why are people doing that? Somebody who's very spiritual is using sensational titles to get views, and banking on the negativity and the people that are still in unconsciousness that want to know what the future is going to hold, instead of showing them how to create the future. Now, that's an ego-driven, ego-based kind of, let's say, approach to communicating with our public out there, talking about going off grid. Well, in my opinion, and this isn't a judgment against this person, it's their choice, and I think they're beautiful, but we have a responsibility right now as influencers, and I actually am going to use a word that's very strong. I think that's being a coward. You can run away and off-grid all you want and tell everybody to prepare for the worst stuff, but now is the time for heroes to triumph and to step forward in a space where we haven't been able to do this before, because so many people are ready for it. and know that their back's up against the wall and they have a choice to make. And if we were all cozy and everything's going fine in our material world, polluting everything, we probably wouldn't make the changes and the choices that we are right now. But many of you are being pushed to that and seeing the ugliness of what we've done. So when we start to gravitate toward those channels or those messages, wherever they are, television, wherever it is, that give us warnings and fear, we're still listening to those who want to keep us there and are using it for control and power. Now, if you've taken Breakthrough Fear, you know that there are two things with fear that happen. There's programming that you've been brought up with your parents, your teachers, everybody have told you that because they came from fear and that's what they believe. So they pass it on to you. The second thing is people know what they're doing and they're going to instill fear in you to get you to react in a way that is hoarding, believing all these negative things that are supposed to happen to you. None of that has to happen if we don't go into it. None of it. There are so many other choices and ways. So the true, let's just say, awakened are going to recognize what's going on and stand up and step out and not run away. Taking care of yourself and doing all these things and I told you it's coming, and, in a bad way, and, they're after us, and that is just sensationalism to put fear in you. And it has to be something you are totally responsible for. They aren't. They're just choosing that pathway for their own purposes. And if they go into ego, okay, that's their choice, not to be judged. But I want you to be aware of that, because some people that you may have trusted as spiritual leaders are now going to sensational titles and videos, which are quite fearful. It's them and us versus us, and there is no them and us. There's just us. There's just I am. That's it. And so, again, that finger, if you want to cut that finger off, you're going to keep cutting fingers off till you don't have a hand anymore. And they are that finger. So we want to nurture and take care of everything, but how do we do that? Well, the finger's already broken, right? It's part of the body. And so what we have to do is strengthen everything we can around it. And so when we become creators, we create the new world that gives other people who are in density options, because they'll come out of fear when they realize there was nothing to fear in the first place. We're not going to go into that future. We're going to have challenges. We're on planet Earth. The challenges never stop. The reaction to them does. That's the new Earth. And I have a whole video on that. What's the new Earth? It's not us being saved to another planet. It's us reacting differently and seeing no problems, no separation. And so when we see a homeless person, instead of saying, oh, they're this or they're that, or this is, and it's the government's problem for not taking care of them, we're going to say, let's come together. How do we take care of this person? What's the solution here? Maybe they don't want the solution, but we'll start to come together as community, which brings me to something that I launched. Now, I have proof right now that we are going into something so big. And why do I say that? I'm picking up on it. I'm very, very intuitive. I've actually been able to see people's futures before. It's random. I don't have control over it. This one, I felt some very, very heavy energetic fields out there, vibrations, frequency, working through it and saying, okay, wow, it doesn't feel good to do this, but I know my pathway and I have to stay on it, even though that you have these heavy feelings. Some of you are feeling that. Those of you who say you're awakened and tell me you're in fear, I'm saying you're not awakened yet. You got to work on that. You can't be in fear and say you're awakened. Those two just don't even go together. There are different levels of awakening. So if you're going into awakening, that means that you will experience fear, but you're no longer reacting the same way and you're moving forward anyways. I have a free master class coming out soon. I'll share with you. You're going to love it. The big thing happening is that we are actually shifting into it right now. It's not happening in the future. It's been happening. We're at a very positive tipping point. Now, somebody could say, no, we aren't. All this other stuff's going on. I'm like, okay, those are choices separate from the positive tipping point, the new Earth. The old Earth is a choice. So yes, that is going on. Absolutely. We can go to hell in a handbasket if you want to. It's your choice. The big event happening right now is we're going into something so beautiful, and people are working on it, and you're going to see it. It's going to be more and more prevalent because we're organizing these things right now. I'm going to give you an example. So I got an opportunity to work with somebody who's just amazing on a clothing company, and I had to really do some deep thoughts about this and ask myself, the textile industry is one of the biggest pollutants on the planet. Am I going to encourage that, be a part of it, even though they're doing some really cool green stuff, sustainable, and all kinds of other stuff? They still ultimately are polluting. For what? And so I had to ask myself, what's the purpose of that? Promotion of what? So I did some thinking, and I had this amazing download that said, we need to use what we have. We have so much abundance. We have so much abundance, food and everything. We have it. That didn't stop. We still have farmers. We have all this stuff still going. We're not in a drought. We haven't been wiped out. All that stuff still exists. It's the structures around it that aren't working anymore. We have to create new structures. So I have to get my fan out because it's really hot here. I love it here. It's gorgeous. All right, so what do I want to emphasize right now? We have so much. Instead of thinking lack or getting rid of or fighting somebody, we have to create that which exists right here in the beautiful world that we have. I created what I wanted to call Community Clothing Company. And then it was taken, and I thought, community doesn't quite sound right to me. It sounds a little bit boring. And so I thought, I wonder if Unity Clothing Company exists. And it does. UnityClothingCompany.com is mine. And guess what's in the word community? Unity. There's no community without unity. Unity Clothing Company, and I'm going to share this with you because I want to help you start to focus on these things. Unity Clothing Company is going to welcome everyone who repurposes things and creates amazing art, clothing, jewelry without creating any pollution to make that happen, because there's so much already out there that needs to be repurposed. Get busy. You'll be invited on my platform if you qualify. You do not have to give up your sales commissions at all. I take nothing out of that. But you will have a monthly fee because I'm going to do promotion, including paid advertising, so it's going to pay for that. So I'm going to help you because I'm an influencer and I'm out there and I do this for a living. I'm going to take my skills and promote Unity Clothing Company. If you want to be on that platform, I invite you. Anything that you wear on the body, it could even be purses and backpacks and things like that. We're going to do it all. Shoes, everything. If you're making it already or you want to or you think this is cool and you're an artist, get busy and you can write me. Oh, probably, I hope I get inundated. You can write me at Landria Onkka @gmail.com. That's my personal email. I might have to stop that at some point. Or you can write me at Landria@businesscoaching.com. That's another email that I have. The big shift is all of a sudden I have no focus on anything else but new creations. There's so much abundance on this planet, it's mind-boggling. Do you know how much money you could make until which time we don't even need it? Because we're going to be creating so many amazing things. Monetary systems won't even make sense. We're going to start, trading things, and, somebody's going to want something and say, hey, I make great bread, and we're going to say, I love your bread. I would like your bread. Here's, a backpack. And we're going to do all this stuff, and we're going to start to go into that world, and it's going to be amazing because you're going to feel like you're earning things in a much more creative, special way. Isn't that wonderful? We are going into that. This exists. This has existed since the beginning of time anyways. We have a lot of help right now. We have those from our future and our past who have actually stepped in to help us. Now, when you go into this space, this big, huge event that's happening, you let go of fear. And so you're not worried about what's happening, you're creating it. And so all of a sudden, every beautiful idea, like with me, it just came to me and I went, Community Clothing Company. I went, no, Unity Clothing Company. How cool. I don't have to take commissions. I'll let these people keep all their money, but But I have talents and skills in marketing online. I have multiple online income streams and businesses. I'm going to use that to reach the planet, to drive traffic to you guys, those of you who want to participate. And by the way, I have other stuff coming up too. Digital Explorers is launching this year too, and that is everything. Everything. You know, anything holistic, teachings, spiritual, products, services, training people to make cool stuff. I have a friend, does woodworking. It's so gorgeous, making beautiful things. That would be welcome. I want you to go into a space of pure bliss in everything you do in your life, how you earn, and get so excited. And when you go into that space and you go into passion, you go into ideas that you'll have to be like me. I carry a little recorder, even to bed. Oh, I get all these ideas and I have to record them. You're going to get overloaded on happy ideas because now you opened the gateway, because fear blocks everything. Because you have nothing to be afraid of, because you have nothing but wonderful things to look forward to. And when challenges happen, you realize this is an opportunity. You see it completely different. Come take Breakthrough Fear. I teach you how to do all of that. I've got somebody just wrote me today and said, wow, she went into that space. Now, have you felt this? She went into that dark space. She's been feeling really great. All of a sudden she went into dark space. And she went back into the training and she said, okay, let's take a look at this. What's going on here? Your ego's going to fight because it's a pattern. It's a habit. And so people are actually addicted to pain, right? They become addicted to pain, not the painkillers. They become addicted to feeling sorry for themselves, or eating, or all these other things that we do. Even if it doesn't feel good, they'll go back to it because it's what they know. So the ego is no different. You have to recognize it, take the steps. She went through it. She went outside, meditated, and she felt it. She just felt it. She didn't try to fight it. Guess what? She sent me pictures. Beautiful, beautiful monarch landed on her, was licking her. She must have been sweet. She was sweet, right? Landed on her shoe, landed on another place. It kept landing on her. The universe was saying, yep, we're with you. We're working on it. Hang in there. You're beautiful. And so you will connect to nature. It's going to send you all kinds of messages. By the way, have you experienced this? Some signs. Let's talk about signs. A dove every morning lands right in front of my window. I have sliding glass doors that go out to the beach. On a table, stares at me, just one. Gets in my pot, sits in the pot and stares at me for a while. Likes to hang out here. I don't feed it. I don't know what the deal is. And I thought, oh, it's a little message. Little dove is sitting there saying, yeah, I'm tuned into you. You're going to tune into things. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to feel so great. So if you're feeling the darkness, it's because that part is still out there. You're going to feel it, but it doesn't have to be a part of what you entangle with. So don't go into worry and say, oh my God, something horrible is happening. No, it's not. It will be for people that want to, or watch that garbage. And to my competitors, come to the light. It's a lot more fun. You know what? Eventually, views, who gives a crap when when you leave here? Can't take your views and your subs with you. Oh, you get a few more that way, but who's going to be listening to you? People that are into darkness, I don't want to encourage that. I want to invite them over. Come on, it's beautiful over here. Guess what we got for you? We're going to show you ways to make money. We're going to show you ways to flourish. We're going to show you ways to be passionate, and not judge it. It's okay. It's okay to be abundant. It's okay to be healthy. It's okay to be happy. But other people are suffering. Yeah, and what's your point? No, I'm not going to say shut your pie hole. This is a spiritual butt kick today. Have you noticed? Because I'm offering you some amazing things. So write me, or you can write in the comments. If you have ideas, let's start lining up. That website is actually up. It's in maintenance mode because there's some things I need to work on before I start adding you on there. When I go live, I'll let you know. And if you're in my free email series here, you'll get announcements on all this stuff, and applications will be doled out so that you can fill them out if you want to qualify for this. That means we have to be real responsible light beings. Yep, sorry. So isn't this exciting stuff? Get into this, because the big event is creating that world. We're doing it now. It's not down the road. It's happening now. New ways of everything that the planet is going to sing and celebrate. And the animals, and the sky's going to be cleaner, and everything's going to be... We got some work to do. But that's going to be the fun part, right? You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. I hope that you'll subscribe. These, if you guys do want to launch an online business and get all that training, man, there's nothing you can't do with that. And then come on over. You'll be experienced, and I'll help you pick and choose what you want to create. These are free videos, and they will take you introduce you to the training. And you can decide if you want to get those skills. They're incredibly valuable skills in today's world. I don't know why you wouldn't. If you could create businesses online and travel all over the world, it may not be for you, but let's stop criticizing each other. If it's not for you, fine. You don't have to like rag on somebody. Do we say that anymore? Quit ragging on me. All right, you're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Where's my coffee? Oh, it's late in the day. Namaste. I love you.